It wasn't that long ago, I was plugging in my first Bitcoin miner here. So exciting, a monumentous day. My first Bitcoin miner plugged in. That was 2 winters ago. A lot of things have changed since then. Some things haven't though. So I've been working on my mining farm, earning passive income. I've been stealing space for Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin's finally been pumping. It's been a very long, difficult, and very expensive road. I'm looking to recoup my investment, take profits, and also have a Bitcoin bag, right? I mean, that's the dream, right? All right, so let's treat this like an episode of Cribs, right? Oh, hey, what's up? Welcome to my crib, come on in. So this is the field building, also known as VoskCoin HQ. Out here, I'm doing mining. If you want to mine, but you don't want to do any of this stuff, you don't want to do any of the work, basically, check out Revolution Mining. They're a sponsor of the VoskCoin YouTube channel. They run their own mining farm. They'll sell you a miner, they'll hook it up, and you can start earning passive income basically just by swiping a card or sending them some funds. You'll be off to the mining races. Over here in this corner, I'm running 2 full-size miners, 1 large miner, just really by size, not a big power output, and then also a couple little Ice River miners. So I've got, I think, my original KS0 over there, as well as my AL0. The most important miner over here, though, is that S21, which is on the left side. So in this corner, I am using 27 amps of electricity, and about half of that is for Bitcoin mining. In this corner, I just hooked up, which I'm very, very excited about, a new Bitcoin miner, the most dense Bitcoin miner that you can easily deploy, especially with single phase electricity, the Bitmain Antminer S21 XP. So we got that in really quick from Altair, so that was fun and exciting. That's a good experience. And we use their mining PDUs. So they're like all things Bitcoin mining, tons of parts and stuff. I get my spare power supplies from them, and I get my power cables from them now. But these things are a great little form factor, and they give you just enough outlets while coming in at a really good price point. You used to be able to get them for $100 shipped, which is awesome with our coupon code VoskCoin, but they've gone up in price, but still totally worth it. Bringing it back here to this S21 XP, it has the new screen, IP address readout, hash rate readout. It's not accurate though, so that's weird. A little bit of a weird metallic sound. Hope we're not going to develop an issue there. But yeah, in that corner, I'm basically using 23 amps of electricity. So let me take you over to what I call the RV garage, which that's kind of what it was designed for. Granted, I don't have an RV. I rented my buddies for a little while, actually a while, but we no longer have that. So this is the mining rig setup in the RV garage. Oh, is that my dream car though? You better not be leaking oil again. That's the Ford way. I need to put a box under there. I'm gonna do this right now before I forget. So I grew up in Mustangs like this. These are called New Edges. This is the Terminator. I love this car. It's very fun. It's very nostalgic. Absolutely best in class for its time, and still today an incredibly capable car. But it's a Ford, so like the window motor stopped working for no reason. It's dripping a little bit of oil. It's almost an antique, whatever, so that's the way it goes. Bitcoin Super's not here. I've been dealing with a shop nightmare with that, which I've lost my patience for. I'm pretty frustrated about it. Kind of feels like the home build again, where like I kind of think of myself like a nice guy to deal with, you know, I don't know, generally speaking to some extent, and pretty patient, and just kind of taken advantage of, but hope to get that car back soon. Actually, I will be getting that car back soon. Anyway, RV garage, 38 amps of electricity in here. We're mining Dogecoin, Caspa, and other cryptocurrencies in here. But right now, no Bitcoin mining is going on in here, but absolutely a big power draw. Right now, it's about 45 degrees outside, and with all those miners running in there and that door open, the temperature over there is about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. In this garage, it's about 73 degrees Fahrenheit. This is, I forget, this is something like 20 by 40, and the RV garage is about also like 20 by 40. And we're upstairs, so I've got a couple little box miners running over there. I've got the new Canon Avalon miner, 1500 series, that's a 1566. It's so weird that it does not have back fans. According to this Trip Light PDU, it's pulling 17 amps. That's wrong though, but it is pulling about 16 amps of electricity. This thing's power hungry. Over here, got a couple little miners, but most notably I have my S21 Pro. Both of my S21s in here, the S21 and S21 Pro, have been warranted. It's been a really unreliable release series from Bitmain. All of the miners up here result in me pulling about 34 amps of electricity up here. So I've got a 400 amp electricity service, so I have way more that I could do, but I would have to develop real mining infrastructure out here. I can't just use my cheat code of passive cooling in the winter. You know, that puts me at about 122 amps of electricity consumption. A pain point for me with my mining farm has been that you need to consistently use around this electricity or more to get to the better electric rate. And a lot of people do not understand, at least for me in my situation, how much better that next electricity rate is. It essentially reduces my cost to run Bitcoin and other miners by 25%. So for example, I did the math of all my whole mining farm and I spend $10,000 a month in electricity. And 2 of those are on the better rate. So it does reflect that. So this isn't exactly true. But let's just say all of my stuff was on the original service, right? And this is obvious, pretty easy math. At 10 grand, I get a 25% reduction. That's $2,500 of savings per month. I could basically buy another Bitcoin miner every month just based on those savings and just keep growing my farm. Obviously, you know, that's just a quick example. Everything's not always that simple. But yeah, I found out just recently that I could combine my services on the billing side and basically have the better electricity rate across the farm with these different meters that I have, because I have a 400 amp service here on the field building, VoskCoin HQ. The real goal of this is to be a studio, an office, a workshop, a test bench. That is why this was designed. And then the RV garage is for storage and just kind of unique storage capabilities. We have the immersion mining shed. It's the gray shed that has a bunch of immersion miners in it. We have the hard drive mining shed, which barely needs any electricity. And really at this point, I am just starting to steal all of that electric service for running full-size Bitcoin and other crypto mining rigs. And I'm just gonna throw up a couple solar panels and a battery, and I'll be able to power my whole hard drive mining operation that has, to be honest, kind of barely been worth running from how painful it is to mine Chia with rigs that have lost more and more support across the board from these different plug and play makers. And then beyond that, DIY, the changing plotting, and it's just a pain. Hard drive mining, to be honest, is so cool in concept. I'm infatuated with the concept, the theory of it, but in practice, kind of sucks. Unless you have a bunch of spare time for it. I don't have a bunch of spare time for it. So if I can't pretty much, you know, plug and play and run, it's not going to work out for me. My time is better spent elsewhere. It is literally more profitable for me to be doing other things out here on the mining farm. And of course, we have the digital shovel mini pod, another 400 amp service on that. That's at capacity. We've recently upgraded the fans on that thing and it has been kicking ass, so that's cool. We're looking at bringing in their new nano pod to the farm, hopefully next month, TBD, we'll see. And that will help us expand. And that's actually a critical expansion for me because that is what I'm banking on. I've got, you know, backup plans and stuff, but that is critical infrastructure for me because I'm gonna get that set up, wired, everything nice and tidy. And then I'm gonna take all the miners in here, all of them, and I'm gonna put them in the nano pod. I may not rush to do it. I may just put a couple in the beginning, but this stealing mining space doesn't work once spring hits. That's my deadline. So I have to have completed all of this or found another solution by spring, because when it is hot, this does not work. It's 100 degrees plus in there. The miners start to shut down. It's bad. It's bad. I risk damage to the machines. It's miserable to be in there, and it's bad for the building at that point. So one thing I've thought about, because I have all of this juice, right, and I'm not gonna need all that much juice for my true goal of this building, but I have this big service, is just that maybe I'll get another nanopod and feed it from here, or I'll make like a mini mining shed and just put it right next to this building, and maybe run all my like box miners and little mini miners that can, you know, create a lot of wiring, can create a pretty big space take up. Like, you know, things like the Jazz miners, they're huge, but they really don't use much electricity. So, you know, where do I deploy all of these that have kind of been amassed? So the biggest issue, right? So here I'm at the building, and all the way over there is the farm. So if I just wanted to take this juice and run it into, say, the pod and throw up some more PDUs or something, I could, but it's gonna be expensive. Like, so expensive with that wire that I would probably be better off creating a solution right over here. I wanted those far away, right? Because especially with the air cooled, I only have 2 of the 4 fans on. It creates a very solid hum, and it can be much louder in the summer months because the miner fans start spinning really fast, and that creates very much noise and so forth. So the point was to have things close, but a little bit of space, honestly, largely just simply due to noise. I wanted this to be nice, quiet, peaceful, awesome, fantastic. I've submitted additional load letters to see where I can take the farm. They're pushing back on me big time. They want me to pay over $100,000 to bring over 1 megawatt of electricity for 3-phase out here. I think that's ridiculous. So, you know, we may kind of keep going back and forth, but they've really drawn a hard line in the sand, or really in the gravel out here. You know, there was one day I spent 2 Bitcoin on gravel, and Bitcoin was a lot cheaper back then. I could pave out here, like concrete. I could make this all concrete if I had just bought 2 Bitcoin and sat there and said, this is my 2 Bitcoin, to make everything concrete and just to live lavishly. Man. What do you do? What do you do? I guess you just buy coin, chill. And then you just make so much money at some point that you don't care about stuff like this. Here I am just pissing money away on rocks and farms and whatever else. Just forget about it. Forget about it, huh?
Forget about it.
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 Just forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at out here with all this stuff, snapshot, progress. At the end of the day, you know, I've got better miners than ever before. Farm's profitable. This has been a good endeavor, a good experience. I'm definitely at a crossroads with, you know, do I look at doing a very serious 3-phase expansion? You know, at what numbers does that make sense? Should I throw that capital at solar instead? Should I just chill out and buy a bunch of coin at this stage of the game and let it ride for the bull run, hopefully? Take some old, not very profitable miners out of the rotation, out of commission, decommission them, and then buy better, more profitable miners and replace them? Because, you know, I have a lot of space that's taken up by like just S19s and stuff, and I have them on efficient settings so I can have max density too. And I mean, those things make me like $1 a day or something. It's not exciting. And each of them's consuming at least 2,000 watts of electricity each. Like, that's a lot of my farm tied up in things that aren't all that profitable. But I own that hardware, and I would like to keep profiting off of it. So it's just like a lot of ways to go right now. And I wouldn't say like I have FOMO, but I just want to make sure that I'm putting in max effort, chasing the dream, and I'm getting after it, because the bull run will come and go. And then it'll be a bear market, and that'll be a time to very seriously reconsider what we're doing, where we're going, how to proceed from here at that point. I think with the lead time on something like 3-phase electricity, that by the time I'm up and running, the bull run will be winding down. So who knows, super cycle, Bitcoin going to 1 million.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
We'll see. But everything's a cycle, don't forget that. So that's where my head's at. Again, hey, I'm Drew Vosk. You're out here on the VoskCoin, a mining farm. This is our super cutie pup, Tails. We run 10 seconds of Tails on every video. She's our CMO, our Chief Mining Officer. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you would do if you were me. I'd love to hear from you. And if you watch this whole video, I just want to say thanks. All you guys keep your content creation dream alive. I love making content. It's fun, and it's really given me a unique opportunity to just document my crazy crypto journey, right? So I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.